o'clock.
All right, we're live with Dirt Flag to Flag Media Live. Listen, I want to know, we're going to check tonight. We're just sitting here talking about audio. So please let us know if our audio is working. I tore everything down. We went to the track Saturday night, me and JT. We done a live show for the Super Stock Special, the Scott Patman Memorial. So let's make sure, we want to make sure we give Zach Sasser the justification he deserves. Make sure the audio is working. Chris Batchelor says, sounds good.
All right.
Thank you. All right.
Live with Zach Sasser. I'm posting it on mine right now.
Post it up, spread it out, spread the awareness, share it out, get it out there.
Awesome.
So first and foremost, I want to thank Zach Sasser for coming on tonight. Big win last Saturday night for the Scott Patman Memorial. We will get into that because talking to him before the show started, and it still hasn't sank in. It's been, 5-6 days since then? It still hasn't sank in. So, of course, we got co-host JT Huffman with me again tonight.
Happy to be here, like always.
I think he's on full time now. We discussed a little bit about him being part time, but I think we're just going to bring him on full time. The contract deal is not done yet; it needs to be proofread, but we will get you.
My lawyer will be looking at it.
That's fine. They need to read it twice because I'm not sure what all's in it. But Zach, anyway, thanks for coming on, buddy.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Let's get started on how you got started in racing. Let's go back. Let's start this off way back when, or I don't know how long ago it's been.
Or start even with Pops, because that's pretty legendary in itself.
Yeah, it is. It is. So
Yeah.
let's start. Yeah, let's start. Who's your dad?
Dad is Adam Sasser, raced 20 years, probably starting in the late 80s, early 90s, racing super stocks, bombers, then went to modifieds. That's where he raced the longest. You'll know him by the always red car 79.
Yep.
Then he moved up to the super late models there for about a season and a half, and then realized he didn't have enough help, so he went back to the modifieds. So then when I was 5 or 6 years old, started out in a goat kart at Linton in North Vernon. Then I was a kiddie kart with a little 50cc engine on it. Then we moved up to a full-size goat kart with a Excalibur flathead engine on it, running purple plate, little blue plate, and that was about it. And then the go-kart stuff really wasn't for me. It seemed like we weren't running for nothing, and there was more fighting than anything else.
And it cost a fortune to run go-karts.
You're not running for anything.
No.
What did go-kart races pay to win? Like $25 or something?
Maybe $100 depending on cars. Like if they'd get so many cars, I think they'd pay back top 5 maybe.
Good grief.
We ran for trophies.
Yeah, we did. Yeah, that's true.
So
Like
we can't complain.
Yeah, and there was the most cheating people too. You ever seen?
Oh,
And
yeah.
if you beat them and you wasn't cheating, they swore you was cheating. So
Yeah.
It really wasn't for me. And so then when I was 13 years old, I think, 6th grade, we bought a Ford Pinto mini stock off of Dick Jones. Did you race against that? Vernon Jones' son would have drove it.
That name sounds familiar.
Yeah, out of Bloomington.
Bloomington.
But we bought that Ford Pinto and then got it ready and raced at Linton. And then we bought it in the middle of the season, so we got to run Thunder Valley about a half a year that first year. And then the next year, I raced the mini stock at Linton or Thunder Valley, and then Dad bought Chevy Goodson's mini stock because the class was starting to die out, and we just wanted another car so they wouldn't drop the class. So, and we were only getting 5 or 6 a week. Most we ever got, I think, was 9 maybe at the big race.
Yeah.
So we did that for a season. And that was a lot of fun. We just ran Thunder Valley every week, and at the end of that year, they were going to drop the mini stock class and just put everybody in the outlaw 4-cylinder class, the truck class. So we went ahead, sold the Pinto, I think, and we bought out in Illinois, they ran a class called Kids Mod class, which was a Bob Pierce modified with a 4-cylinder engine in it. So we bought one of them cars, and it had a Burt transmission, a quick change rear end, and we were going to run it at Thunder Valley in the outlaw class because they only had 3 rules. Had to be an 8-inch tire, 2-barrel carburetor, and I forget the other one. I don't remember what it was, but it fit the rules, so we were going to run it there. And then they had that big storm come through during the off season and knocked light poles down and everything, and they didn't they didn't end up running. So we had to run that. They ran that class out in Illinois, so we raced it 4 or 5 times. Like we raced at Highland, Illinois, Fairbury, Farmer City.
Oh wow, that's cool.
Won at I-55.
Really won in it?
Yeah.
That's really cool.
That's awesome.
But it was a good deal for kids getting into racing, but it was just a little too far for us. Like that I-55 race, I think it was 5.5 hours there and 5.5 back. So when we got back home, the sun was coming up, and we weren't running for no money. There was no purse. So, I mean, it was good to learn. And so then I ran it 5 or 6 times, and then we ended up getting a super stock, 2009 Nightcrawler, Tony Anderson's old car, and we ran that. We got it. I ran 1 race in it, and then the next weekend I was playing travel basketball and tore my ACL. So then I was done the rest of the year. So then we came back the next year, ran that car at Bloomington, Brownstown. I think won Rookie of the Year at both tracks. And then
2 rookie years at one time. That's awesome.
yeah. And then at the end of that year, we sold it and got us a TSR, and that's what we're racing now.
Can't go wrong with TSR.
No. They're good cars.
Good cars.
So basketball put an end to your racing year, huh?
Yeah.
Dang basketball.
Kind of funny story. That the day I heard it, I asked our coach, because he was my cousin, I said, can we get early games so I can go racing that night?
Oh.
So we did, and that happened. So then from then on out, I never asked for early games again.
Bad luck.
But it always worked out, because I never missed, I don't think from then on out I never missed a race because of game times. They always fell right.
Right.
So it worked out.
And mom and dad were cool with that too, huh?
Yeah.
Well, that's all. That's a good set of parents. Then,
It is.
for sure, to run you around everywhere. And
Yeah, like when I would get into high school and we'd play during the summer, we'd race Friday night. I'd go somewhere, play 2 games on Saturday, race Saturday night, a couple more games on Sunday.
That's a busy weekend. Real busy weekend. I do want to tell everybody, like, if you have any questions for Zach, make sure you post them in the comments, because I'm going to read all the comments tonight. Anthony Finley said he's watching from New Jersey tonight.
Oh, wow.
So Anthony's watching from the big state of New Jersey.
And Matt, you don't have your TV going back here. I don't know if you care.
I don't have the right laptop for it tonight. I forgot it.
Okay, just making sure we was
That's
good.
my bad. I will get a shout out to my sponsors in a little while. So Robert Rainey says that both Sasser's boys are wheelmen. That is the truth. That is the truth. What's your favorite track? So now that learning that you've been to Fairbury, I-55, all those, what is your favorite track that you've ever raced on?
I'd say it's tough between probably Bloomington, just because it's close to home. I went to the races a lot as a kid, but it seemed like most of my memories are from Bloomington, being up on the hill. And then it's easy to like a track when you run good, I guess.
It is, yeah.
So I'd say probably Bloomington, but at the same time, it can be my least favorite track, because stuff happens quick and it can go good to bad real
quick.
Hurry.
Yeah.
And you're defending champion there too, right?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah. We'll try to repeat that.
That was awesome. We were there the night that he captured that, and it was a show. And he put on a clinic once he got up front. It was a nice race.
I think Bloomington always puts on good races.
They put on a really good show.
Just the way that the track's laid out.
And it usually goes to 2 groove.
Yeah, by the
the
feature time. Sometimes in the heat, sometimes 1 groove, but then by feature it widens out, which, I mean, slick, when it's slick there, it's still a lot faster than any slick around.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, just because of the banking and red clay.
And we were both doing the same thing last year. You know, you were running Friday at Bloomington, I was running Friday at Thunder Valley, and then we would meet at Brownstown Saturday and run. So how much were you having to change between nights? Were you guys changing a ton on the car?
No, we weren't changing much. It was just washing, repairing what we fixed, and
Tires,
maintenance. Go again.
It's a lot. It's a lot of work.
Yeah.
But, I mean, it worked out. I mean, you guys got it done. How did you do on national? Did you guys do good?
Yeah, we ran. We ran for it, but we weren't doing it we didn't run as much as we could. I think we ended up running 29 times. We finished 6th in the national.
Oh, wow.
4th in the region. But there was quite a few weekends there where when Brownstown would get rained out and we could have went to Lincoln Park, but just didn't because we went there earlier in the year and didn't have a very good experience. So I needed some time before I went back, but.
Oh, that's understandable for sure.
We're running for it now.
You're chasing it this year?
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, right.
How are we doing so far? Do you know?
We're second right now.
Oh, wow.
We're 9 points behind Josh Linton.
Okay, so you're close.
Yeah.
That was going to be my next question, is when you were going to run for national points, but I guess you just answered that.
So what tracks are we going to run to try to get that?
Bloomington every time they run, Brownstown every time they run. Then when Bloomington don't run, we'll go to Rock Crest. And then when Brownstown doesn't run, we'll go to Paragon. And if neither Brownstown or Paragon racing, we'll go to Lincoln Park.
So what are you thinking? 30 nights? 35 nights?
It's going to take 35 to 40 to win it.
Wow. That's a lot of
That's
racing.
a lot.
And that 35 minimum. I think Wes won it last year. I think he had somewhere 40 nights, I think.
And do they take your best 20? Is that right?
Yeah, your best 20. And then it's good if you get a lot of cars because if you get over 25 cars, it's a bonus point per car, maximum of 5. So I think on a normal night, if you win, it's 75 points. But if there's 30 cars, you'll get 80. And then that's
a big
that
difference.
means something when you come down to the wire.
Yeah.
It does.
Yeah.
Wow. So really probably Brownstown and Paragon are the two that get the 20 regular, you think? 20 cars regular?
I'd say probably Lincoln Park more than
Lincoln Park gets more than Paragon?
Yeah.
I don't go up there regularly. I've raced at Paragon once, but I've not been.
Yeah.
When I was there that night, I think they had 22 cars, but that's not consistent, you don't think?
No. Well, we were there, that No Way Out 40 race, we were there, but there was 30 cars, but, nowhere else was running. And then we went up a few weeks ago, and there was only 18, but that was still the leading car count for each the class with super stocks. But,
Right.
When I think we've seen it already since Paragon's been running, each track's, even Lincoln Park and Brownstown's a little lower than it would normally be because, I'd say 25 super stocks last week was
that wasn't
low.
nothing compared to usual. I thought that was low.
Yeah.
Of course, Paragon was racing too.
Right.
So they probably get 4 to 6 cars that would have come to Brownstown.
We were guessing, in the pre-race show, we guessed 30, 35.
I guess 32.
Yeah, I guess 35.
And I think Stalker guessed 34 or something.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I was a little. It makes it a little easier on us, obviously, trying to make it into the show. But I was still a little disappointed because it's just I had to work my tail to make it the first time I was there.
Right.
It was hard to make it, and it still wasn't easy.
Yeah.
You still had to race in, but it wasn't like it was 4 or 5 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
And hopefully that comes back. But I'm glad to see other tracks thriving too. If a class can get 20 cars a night at any class, that's a good night. I think.
Yeah. If
Cooper Holmes said Diesel Sasser.
Yeah, that's my nickname, Diesel. They gave it to me in high school.
Did they?
Yeah. Oh,
Diesel.
middle school, high school. Because Dad and Papa and Uncle, they got a construction business and heavy equipment, diesel. And then we got a diesel truck for my first truck. And then the way I play basketball and move people around, they just said, "You're diesel."
There's the story.
There's the story. When you go to a track, is there any competitor that you want to beat the most besides your brother? Is there any competitor you want to beat the most?
No, I wouldn't say the most. There's some you want to beat just because if you beat them, you feel like you've done something.
Right.
Obviously, JT, Boatneck, Tucker at Brownstown. Those 3 or 4.
Going into, because that's what we talked about
I'm
on the
glad
show.
I made the list. So
Yeah.
that made me feel good.
Yeah.
Because Boatnick's a 3-time winner of the Scott Patman, and he was a defending winner. So going in, if you can beat Matt, then you've done something.
Yeah.
So, and I don't know if anybody's watched the GoPro footage that I put on my YouTube channel, but the racing was phenomenal. Like the top 4 or 5 of you guys was awesome. Where you came from on that restart, I have no idea, but you put it in a whole different gear or something.
It's the best show week in and week out.
It is.
It's always close.
It is. We talk about it every week.
The first night it was Amick and Zach last lap battling, and then it was me and Isaiah last lap battling, and then you and Clegg had last lap, and then Zach got it done. Last week. It's good racing every week,
Right?
And it comes down to the end.
And I think it's everywhere you go. I think all the super stocks always put on a great show.
Oh yeah, I agree with
It's
that.
one of the toughest classes. People have talked about it forever, but super stocks is a very tough class. Especially as far as your money goes, like putting into like a racing program. Obviously super stocks don't cost anything like modified or super, but I think the racing's better. Just hands down, I think it's better.
And I know a couple people retired this past year, but you get a lot of drivers that have raced modifieds or late models for years and then want to settle back down, like Boatneck and Mike Field, them guys that they want to still race, but then want to race something competitive but won't break the bank.
Right.
And a little less time involved, you know. Yeah, it's a good class, you know. I think there's 7 or 8 guys a night that's got a shot at it.
Absolutely.
You know, and when I unload, and if I know that I had a shot, if I'm in the top 5, I feel like I had a shot, and if I knew I had a shot with, and I load it back up, and I got 5th, that's winning in some classes.
Right. Mm-hmm. Exactly. So other than running for national points, what's your plans for 2022? Do you have any other plans as far as, like, are you going to chase track championships within the national points as far as like Brownstown, Bloomington, and those types of things?
Yeah, we're going to try to run both for points at Bloomington and Brownstown, and then just see what happens. I was noticing North Vernon Rockcrest's schedule, and I think there's only maybe 2 dates where they're running super stocks at North Vernon and Bloomington. Well, if weather falls right or something like that, where you get a rain out on a right night, you could run for North Vernon points. So we'll just see.
Just a little luck.
Yeah. Just need a little luck.
Sweet. So let's talk about your brother for a little bit. This is kind of a question for Dad too, but maintenance during the week, is it harder on 2 cars? Because I know the week before last, when he got crossways up on the front stretch, that's a lot of work you guys are going to have to put in during the week.
Yeah.
Does it help though? Like with both of you working on them, I'm guessing.
Yeah, it helps a lot. And back to that last week when he wrecked, their B&L High School was having a car show that Wednesday, the next week. So he did a lot of it. I kind of made me mad, so I didn't want to be up there much. But we had to have his car back fixed, ready to roll for that Wednesday. So because he was taking his car to the car show.
Gotcha.
It might have been actually a good thing because it made us get it done quicker, not dragging our feet. But
right.
With 2 cars, that instead of grinding 8 tires, you're grinding 16, and everything's double. What takes you 1 hour now takes you 2 hours, and it adds up after a long time. Especially, we haven't done it yet, but I'm sure it'll happen sometime this year where we both run on Friday and both run on Saturday, and hopefully both of us don't tear one up.
Right.
Because if one car gets tore up, it's hard to get them both back going.
Oh, yeah. We did that with Bud's car. You know, we were switching gears in both cars every night to do that, and tires, and it gets to be a lot. Mm-hmm. But I think that's one of the reasons I feel like my brother kind of shimmied away from it, because he's seen how much effort it took and how much work it does. And he's farms and does other stuff, so he doesn't really have the time. So I think it's good that Isaiah can watch you and see what it takes to be competitive, you know, and learn everything.
Yeah. Like he does get not the short end of the deal sometimes, just because he's interested in it, but not as much as me yet. So we work on his car a lot more than most people, but not as much as mine, which I'm there working on it. So then Dad's going to help me.
Yeah. That's the way my brother was too. I mean, he liked it, but it takes a lot.
Yeah.
And he did mention that on the live show too, when he was talking about how much you do help and, you know, that type of stuff, because he said a lot of times he's not around, so then you do a lot of the work on his cars. So
the kid's really got his head on his shoulders, and I think he does enjoy it. But he's got basketball going on too. He said,
he'll think this is funny. He got a girlfriend. So
yeah.
You must sell the race car then.
Yeah. The Sassers have a race car for sale. Stephen Pittman said it, great racing, not just for the lead. There was great racing throughout the field. You know, that does hit on, you know, with the Superstock class. I think you can watch from the lead all the way to the tail, and there's racing going on. We were talking about, like, just being 2/10 off from the first to last. You know, when you're only 2 or 3 tenths off, I mean, like you said, I think we were talking about this, but I think you only passed, 1 or 2 cars? You lapped 1 or 2 cars Saturday night?
3 or 4.
3 or 4, yeah.
22 laps, and he only lapped 3 or 4 cars.
Yeah.
That's the only class that'll do that.
Right.
The late models are lapping 7 or 8 cars. The modifies lap. I mean, they're that close. So when you get in lap traffic, it's hard.
Right.
Yeah.
That's how I got my first win, was lap traffic, just because you're trying to shuffle and you got to try to be the right decision. You're playing defense, you're playing offense, and it's tough.
Who did you win in lap traffic what, last year?
Hey, he caught a bad break.
Said
he had to do something because I was getting ready to throw something stupid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he had to do something. He did exactly what he had to do. It just didn't work out.
Right.
And I mean, I've been in the same boat where I've lost races at Thunder Valley like that. You know, it's just like I said, they're just so fast. It's hard to get around them.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, it is.
And then you don't want to run over them, but then sometimes you kind of have to.
At
Right.
the same time, you
If
got to go.
That's what it would have took.
Yeah, you have to be a little
I
aggressive.
pushed Trent Adams out of the way on accident one night, but I mean, he was cool with it. He understands, you know,
Yeah.
and that's a good part about our class too. Is everybody's pretty understandable,
Right.
You know, if you're going to rub every now and then, you're going to get close. It's just part of it.
Well, in dirt racing too, you don't have mirrors. It's not like you can see somebody coming from behind you and get out of their way or whatever. You're just going by the seat of your pants, and you know you guys have to make the decision on where you're going to go, and they don't know where you're going to go. So sometimes it works out, sometimes it doesn't.
Do you have anybody working sticks for you?
No.
You just go for it.
All me.
That's awesome.
I mean, when we get a caution, Dad will come up to the fence and either give me. Usually, it's just a thumbs up, and then it's either low, middle, or top. Thumbs up. That's it.
That'd probably make it easier, but I don't know. I like looking at Kelton and knowing if Zach's coming or not.
Yeah.
You know. Okay, more questions.
Isaiah commented.
Awesome.
He said he's just jealous because I'm assuming it says he doesn't have a girlfriend.
Oh,
He said he's jealous because he wants a girlfriend.
it's cheaper this way.
It's
Zach,
cheaper.
I'm telling
Yeah.
Me and JT already gave Zach a pep talk, so Isaiah, you'll get it figured out one of these days, bud. Oh. What else you got, JT? I know you.
All right, so we talked about, racing stuff. So we got unloaded up there that night, and this is something I asked everybody. So what was our preparation to get up to the Scott Patman? Because obviously we're going to put a little more time and effort into it, try to win that one. So how do we start our week?
Usually Sunday's wash day, Monday's tire work. Then usually middle of the week, I usually take either the front suspension or rear suspension apart, clean it, grease it, make sure nothing's broke, and then we usually try to hit it hard at the start of the week. Then usually about Wednesday we actually get a free day, and then Thursday or Friday set the car up, and then I like to have the car sitting ready to be let off the jack stands Friday night. That way for Saturday I just got to drop it down, load all our stuff, and then we're there.
That's my goal too. I like to unload and load. So we get it loaded in the trailer. We head up there Saturday. We unload both cars. Anything going through our heads then? Got any plans?
Just shooting for top five. Like you said, if you're shooting for a top five and you're running top five, you got a chance.
You got a shot.
You can't complain. So top five and just try your best.
Okay, so I get there and I unload, and I do the show and stuff, and then we go to tech, which, I mean, I don't think anybody had trouble with tech. I think everybody got that ugly pink sticker, and I really hated that. It's a yard sale sticker. I go buy that at Dollar General. If I want to pass tech, I'll just put my own sticker on there. But anyways, so then I get back and I look at our group. Now, what did you think about that group that we drew?
They had four of the top six fastest cars easily.
That's what I thought.
You could say 4 out of the 4 or 4 out of 5, probably 4 out of 5.
I think 4 of the 5 fastest cars was in our group, and we went out there and qualified.
Now, what do you think about qualifying the way we do it? Do you think the way we did it was
The way we did it this week?
Yeah.
I like that better.
Or would you rather him be like Boatnick was fast time overall, so he should start pole the first heat. I think I was second, pole the second.
You know who was third?
He was third.
I was
pole
third. That's what I wish they would have done.
Yeah.
I'd have gave anything to be in that
'Cause
dash.
We're qualifying in our groups, and we're going out 2 cars at a time. Well, really, it's no different than group hot lap time trials.
Right.
Which it was fun, but
Yeah. But you knew that we had the 3 fastest guys that we had to beat, where if we could have, in any other heat, we would have got the pole.
yeah.
It was like a 15-2 or something, wasn't it? And then I got like a 15-2.5. And then Matt Boatnick was like a 15 flat. So that was the 3 fastest times. And then me and you, we have to start the top 3 of heat 1 and try to pass everybody, try to pass Matt. I would rather them line it up like they used to, not do the groups. I understand why they do the groups, because the track changes.
Yeah, and it makes it easier for lineups. I'm sure they can just press a button because it's got the electronic timing and it prints out the heat.
Yeah.
And that's it.
Yeah, and I don't care if you want to draw and then we qualify in that order to make it fair
Yeah.
like that. That's fine.
Yeah.
But I didn't like having to start third to you and Matt. No, I didn't like that. And I knew Greg Amick was right beside me. I had to beat him to the corner too. And And
There was a stout group. Like, you can kind of tell, like, in that group how the night was going to go, in my opinion, just being an outsider, not a driver. But, I mean, when you got, like you said, when you got 4 of the 6 fastest cars there in one group.
I talked about it all week at our camp. I was like, I just want to make the dash. I said, if I make the dash, that'd make my night. And then when you draw a group like that, it was tough to make the dash. And, of course, Matt got it, and props to him because he did an awesome job. But
yeah. And then another thing, it was a good thing that we were in the first heat because that made it like you started 7th because you finished 3rd. Well, if you was in the 3rd, you're starting 9th or 10th.
Yeah.
That's another row back. And then I finished 2nd, and that's still 4th, so you still feel like just as good as kind of winning. I mean, you started pole,
you have to use up your stuff every car you pass. Is a little tire you used up, you know. And when you're coming, I think if you don't start in the top, top 8, top 4 rows, I think your shots really go down after the top 4 rows because you're going to have to use a lot of tire to get through there. And then by the time you get to the front, if you got anything left, you're lucky. Especially 29 laps.
Yeah, which I had been wanting. I wish we did more longer races like that. Like. Have a 40-lap race. I feel like that'd be awesome.
Heck, I didn't even make it through 29. Tire blew on 28.
28 bet him, let alone.
Yeah.
I don't know. I agree though. I think from a fan's perspective, I think if you're going to run a special, like a super stock special, and I understand why they ran the 29 laps. You know, that's got some sentimental value to it. But I think a 40-lap race would be pretty sweet.
You definitely have to be conservative.
Yeah.
Right.
And I was not. Zach was.
I think if you run a 20-lap feature, I think it's more of a sprint, right?
Yeah.
But if you run like a 40-lap feature, you got to conserve your tires. I think it makes people set up look a little different because if you're running 20 laps and conserving, and then that last 20 laps you come on, I mean, from a fan's perspective, I think it'd be pretty sweet.
I bet if you go look at the lap counter when we were doing our 3 wide stuff and trading spots and stuff, I bet that was around lap 20. I'd say it's about 15 to 20.
I think it was 15 to 20.
About 15.
So that's I mean that's me being stupid and not thinking about 29, and them two being smart and thinking about it.
Thinking about 29.
You know? Yeah.
You were
I
going
just
for
knew
broke.
I wanted to go. If I knew if Zach passed me, I was gonna have a hard time getting around him.
So you're saying if it would have been 20, then you'd have been in a lot better shape.
If it had been 20, I'd even been pushing it harder probably.
And you were pushing it.
And I was already pushing it hard.
Your tires
I saw
said you were
up there a couple of times. You ate it close.
Oh yeah,
3 and 4.
Yeah, I was over it once, and it came back on luckily. But it was a fun race to be in. But once they got around me, and I knew I was done because I could hear the tires squealing. And you guys just started pulling, and it was props. I mean, you guys did an awesome job, and that you drove a really smart race. You earned every bit of that. And I think it's awesome that you've gotten second so many times, and that's when you get over the hump.
Yeah,
is that race. So I think that's phenomenal.
I feel blessed because, like, the first race I ever won in Superstocks and first one at Bloomington was the Scott Patman Memorial, which is the biggest one there. Paid $1,200.
Oh wow!
And this one, the biggest race of Brownstown, paid $1,500. I couldn't ever imagine that.
That's awesome. That's
Is a check already on the wall in the garage?
It's in the living room.
Is it
in the living room?
There you
That's
go.
awesome. Meg won't let me put nothing in the living room.
We keep my car in the basement, and we got concrete walls, so there's not a real good place just to hang it up. So I'll put it in my room eventually.
Oh, I'd leave it right there.
Mom will probably make me move it.
That's a center. That's a center point or centerpiece, however you would say it.
Put that over the top of the TV.
Yeah, the mantle.
It's on the fireplace.
There you
go.
Yeah.
That's
There you
where
go.
it needs to stay. That's a hard-earned check. I think
It
that's
is.
awesome. And I love the new checks. They're a lot bigger.
Yeah,
So, I mean,
it's outline of a door.
yeah, it's really cool.
I think they look awesome.
I'd like to have a trophy too, though, but I'm not going to sit here and complain. I like the checks too.
Yeah.
Ethan Braid said, going back to the tech, because he had to go back.
Yeah.
That's what he said after the second time, but a ton of the cars went back for second time tech. And then he said, ask Zach if he knows about the max degree in trailing arms.
Yeah.
I think it's right around like 16, isn't it?
I didn't even know it was a rule, and we had it on his car, and it was off.
So Dad said it was 12.
12.
Yeah, he had to go back.
Yeah, he had to go back and change. I told him we should just run Dollar General and get the sticker, but he went back and did it the right way.
Yeah.
But when we dropped that trailing arm on his car, it twists the rear end back. So I don't know how much that affected him. He didn't say nothing about it. Of course, he's a rookie. He's learning still,
Right.
you know, but some of the stuff I'm glad we're checking stuff because they should have been doing it the whole time.
Yeah.
Right.
Because we've already gotten out of hand, and as
Well,
long as we're
here's my
treating everybody the
question,
same, I'm cool with it.
Yeah.
I brought this. I mean, this is my question. If we're going to do tech, should we not do it after the race too? I mean, if you go through tech and you get your pretty little pink sticker, what keeps you from changing anything throughout the night? I mean,
Nothing.
nothing.
They told me they were going to check it again after the race.
I think they just checked deck height on the
Deck height.
Is that what they checked?
They did. That's what they did on me. I probably assume they did top 5 deck heights. I guess.
Did they check your droop rule?
No. Didn't see him.
Did you
jacking-
pass droop?
I guess I did.
Oh.
I'm glad they're doing that though. I hope Rob keeps that up.
Yeah, I just hope that the other tracks, talk to each other and just make one set of rules.
Absolutely.
That's just what's
Absolutely.
aggravating is when one guy says something and then you call another tech guy and they say something else. But neither of them might not be wrong. But
Right.
still.
Or just have a meeting with the drivers and talk about what we want to do. You know,
Yeah, because from your guys' perspective, you want to be able to pull in anywhere and have the same rules, go by the same thing every week. Because that'd be frustrating to have to figure out each week, if you got to change something.
it is
and all that.
frustrating. And I wish they would do it in Kentucky and Illinois and everywhere because I'd like to go run some of them other places.
All across
Yeah,
the board.
like-
yeah.
Another thing is like UMP, like we're UMP sanctioned, you're UMP sportsman, but the cars out in Illinois, they're UMP sportsman sanctioned too, but our class rules aren't the same.
They look nothing alike
We
either.
can't go run out there, but yet we're still classified under UMP as the
Yeah.
same, which I don't think's right.
No. Yeah, it's not fair to them guys who aren't getting the car counts that we get over here in Indiana either,
Because like those running for UMP points, like you can't control if you get beat by an Illinois guy. It's not like you can go to his track and beat him.
Yeah.
Right.
So you just have to hope your finishes are better than his.
Yeah. That's tough.
Yeah.
There's a lot of, and there was last year when I checked it the last time and of course I didn't pay my dues, so they booted me off at the end, but there was like 600 and some cars. Mm-hmm. So you're going to tell me all 600 and some cars are going to meet the same rules if we get a UMP guy here and start teching?
Right. They're not.
There's no
way.
way.
From you guys, Jerry Curry wants to know, from your guys' perspective, this is one of the things that was talked about all week was the rain last week. I don't think it affected the track any at all. I think it was a little heavy up top early. But I still think it was a great track all night, in my opinion.
Yeah, I think it was a great track. Before he watered it for those B mains, it was slick top to bottom, and I'm glad he watered it before the B mains and not just right before our feature. That way it had a few laps on it. It was run in, but still it was a little fast.
Right.
And then you saw as the feature went on, like I watched the replay on it, you could see the track start out brown and then just get blacker and blacker as we went. So it makes it fun because it's
I
changing.
noticed the cushion moving up through our race. It seemed like the further we got along, the further I was on the berm,
Yeah.
bouncing around.
Yeah, I think if you're going to do that, like Zach was saying, do it before so you can get some laps on it before feature time. Not just go out there freshwater track for the feature because I think it just throws everything.
Jim does a really good job.
Jim does
and that's
a
one of the
great
reasons I go to Brownstown. And, because I know we could go make more money going race Perrigan this year, or we could do something different for a points fund at Vernon or something. But Jim's track is smooth night in, night out. He treats pretty much everybody the same. I just like going to Brownstown.
Right. Mm-hmm. And, as far as flag to flag goes, we want to promote all the tracks we can promote. But I think a lot of it is track prep. Like, it's just the way that a facility is ran.
Yes.
Even if you're chasing, off topic a little bit, even if you're chasing late model races, right? If you're a big fan or whatever, you go to like a lot of these premier late model tracks, and a lot of the experience is just how the facility is ran. You go to Eldora, it's one race is over, the next race is on the track. There's none of this long, drawled out, like you were talking about earlier, pulling in at 6 o'clock the next morning because you're there for 10 hours. Because
Well, and last week you guys were beating the rain. It was like 9 o'clock and your feature.
I didn't know
was
what
done.
to think last week.
That
It
was nice.
Yeah, it's like 8:30 and features are about over, and I'm like, what in the world's going on? But
Ran through the program.
it was nice.
It was still pretty quick this past Saturday.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I was tickled with it.
I think we got home at 11:30, but we stayed probably at least an hour after our feature at the
Oh, yeah.
track. So
Our feature's usually done around 10 o'clock, it seems like. So you're home decent hour.
yeah,
And that makes it nice, too. That way you're not dragging on Sundays, especially if Sundays are wash days.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
Yeah, you'll
That's
make sure you
my
get some
wash
sleep
day,
before
too.
wash days.
I hate wash day.
Do you wash your car? Mm-hmm. It looked pretty shiny when you got it out of the trailer up there Saturday night.
It gets washed.
Looks slick.
It gets more baths than I get.
Does it?
Yeah, probably. Sometimes we get pressure washed 2 or 3 times a week. Sometimes it always gets wiped down before it goes to the track, and then it'll get wiped down when it gets there if the pits are dusty.
Yeah.
I can't stand it being dirty, even though if there's tire rubs all the way down the side of it, I'm wiping it down.
It is dirt track.
You know how my dad was.
Oh, I know.
That was what he instilled in my mind at an early age. If I didn't wash that go-kart, he wasn't working on it. You got to take care of the stuff you're given or get or whatever you pay for if you want it to last.
Yeah.
Zach, do you have a list of your sponsors?
Yeah.
Let's go through your sponsors and give them a big shout
Pull
out.
them up. First off, mom, dad, parents. Without them, wouldn't have a car, wouldn't be running up front, wouldn't have the caliber car I have. And Sasser Construction, that's my dad, grandpa, uncle's business. Davis Automotive, Jerry Davis Racing Engines, the Davises, they're my neighbors, build all my engines, order all my parts through them. They really treat me like family. We call each other family. Texacon Cut Stone, Tevin Norman, he come on last year. Been a big help. Swift Springs, new sponsor this year, Caleb Thorne with Base Camp Country Real Estate. Groomer Asphalt Paving, Derek and Rick really helped me out a lot. Treat me like family. DGR Customs, Chase Cummings at Steele's Barbershop, Jeff Mounts Transmission, Edge Collision Center, Nicholas Design, and Maria Kate Customs.
Good deal.
Good list.
Let's talk about Derek a little bit because he's helped you guys a lot, ain't he?
Yeah, he's helped us a lot, and then they're just good people to hang around. Treat us like family. Took me IU basketball game once. They're a lot of fun to be around.
Yeah, and he won it at Paragon in Isaiah's car, right?
Yeah.
And Isaiah was on spring break or something. He was on vacation and
Guess who he's on vacation with?
his girlfriend.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
See, there it
missing
is.
races going.
That's Victory Lane.
That's just one of those things where it's the first sign. It's the first sign that the women are taking over. It really is.
Yeah.
Miss race, and then Derek puts it in victory lane, and he's on vacation with his girlfriend. And see, that's what we tried to tell you before the show started.
Yeah.
You're doing it right. You're doing it right. JT, what else? What all you got? You got anything else you want to go with?
There was, but you go ahead.
What? So
while I think about it.
$1,000 to win at Rockcrest tomorrow night, right?
For Super Stocks?
Or is that this week or next week?
That's Paragon Saturday.
Paragon. They're having a super stock special at Paragon. 1,000 to win.
This weekend?
Yeah.
It's tomorrow, ain't it? I think it's tomorrow.
Saturday.
Saturday.
Well, I didn't
I'll get
even
it
know.
all
They
figured
didn't
out
advertise that well then because I didn't know
I
nothing about
Just
it.
posted it today.
Today. Yeah.
Well, golly, that sucks.
1,000 win at Paragon.
Are you going? You're going Brownstown.
Brownstown.
I'm going
Yeah,
Brownstown.
Points.
Bloomington tomorrow night for tomorrow night is the Roddy Memorial.
I'd like to go to
4,000
that.
win modifieds.
I'd really like to go to that. If they get that Derby car fired without me tonight, that's where I'm going tomorrow.
Are you
You're
over
going to race that too, you said, right?
You're just going to spectate?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're not going to race.
No, I ain't had time to touch mine. And I'm not going up there half prepared.
Have you looked at it yet? We've talked about this all week. Have you talked about it?
Yeah, it's gotten washed and
No, but I'm talking about the power plant. Where are we at with that?
uh
I know that was a big concern.
yeah, we fire it up and it's got pressure in the water system really fast. So I mean, like 2 minutes it's got the water system pressurized. So I thought, oh crap, head gasket or something. We compression test all the cylinders and they were all fine. So I don't know. I'm hoping it's the radiator cap bad, but then it should be blowing water past it, I would think.
Because that's what me and Zach was talking about years before you got here. But in the video, you tell you're pushing water early in the night.
Hot laps qualifying.
It pushed it all night, which made me think maybe a radiator cap. But it got 260 degrees in the feature, and I was too busy trying to handle you two to worry about looking at the gauge like an idiot. Trying to win $1,500 and ruin a $10,000 motor is pretty stupid.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, it happens.
I was in the zone. But I'm hoping, say a prayer for me, everybody, because that's the second motor this year. I can't afford another one, so it'll be done if that goes.
So what we got? We got Rockcrest running tomorrow night. We got Paragon Saturday, Brownstown Saturday, Bloomington tomorrow night,
Lincoln Park racing this weekend.
Yeah.
Lincoln Park's
They
race.
run I'll give them one thing. If you want to race. If you live up there close, they race every Saturday. Modified super stock sprint cars every Saturday night. They race.
Consistent,
there is no break.
huh?
There is no off week.
And they've got good car counts. I've never even been up there and watched the race.
I've never been there either.
I mean, pretty decent. I think there was right around 20 super stocks, 24 mods, I think, last week.
Well, so they get a really
That's
good
not
mod
bad. That's
count.
bad.
Then that's
Yeah.
better mod count than
think
Brownstown.
I think there was 24. I might be wrong, but I think it was right around there.
So how big of a racetrack is that compared to Brownstown?
It's a little smaller.
A little smaller.
Yeah.
Smooth.
I haven't caught it on smooth night, but I think last week I think it was pretty
Smooth. I haven't seen much about it. I think I watched a video on it once. It didn't look like there was a whole lot of banking.
It's kind of like progressive banking. It kind of fools you when
Does
you
it?
go up on there. Yeah.
I need to go check it out. I wish I'd known about that Paragon race. I'd be.
Yep, 1,000 win. And like Zach said, they just posted it today. So I don't.
The fiance bought us Garth tickets, so I'm going to see Garth.
Cincinnati.
Yes.
Yeah.
Cincinnati,
Yeah. And then Salem Speedway, the big speedway's running, and then Sports Drome.
Ain't
Crown
this,
Big guys
ain't this
are going to
area
Sports Drome.
awesome?
Huh?
Ain't this area awesome?
It is.
For racing?
There's a lot of racing in this area. A ton.
Yeah, you can go anywhere you want. You know.
Yeah.
So what's the plans for the future, Zach? We're gonna keep doing this. If we win national championship this year, do we strap into a Super Stock 2023, or do we try something different?
I think we'll be strapping in again.
You like doing the
Yeah.
Super Stock thing?
Yeah.
Well, that's cool. Ain't nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, we've talked about what we would do if we would move up. Dad's got a modified in the basement, and we'd probably tinker with that some. But then we've talked too that the expensive modifieds compared to a late model, it's practically the same, and you're running for $600 in a modified.
$600.
And then late model, we've talked about it too. It'd be dumb not to do a super compared to a crate, because a super you can walk into 5,000 to win race, 500 to start about every week, and the crates are the same money, just a different motor.
You have to
They
throw a
race
lot
for
of money
1,000.
around to
Yeah.
do that.
Yeah,
Right.
but
How big is your basement?
we got a super stock in it, we got a modified in it, and a bunch of junk, and we got just like 2 walkways. You make a walkway around the junk.
Well, that makes me feel better at least, because I thought his basement was gonna be bigger than my whole house. I mean, you had 2 race cars in there.
Our basement is like half of it's a basement, half of it's a man cave. Well, the man cave got turned into our parts inventory. There's parts scattered everywhere. But it used to be all basement, which was better. Like, it was pretty big, but now our space for the cars is cut in half. And the other half, the man cave part, we don't ever go down there, so we just start stacking parts everywhere in there.
So where's Isaiah's car at?
Grandpa's garage.
Oh, you got a garage too.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
My grandpa lives right beside me, and he's got a garage. We just put it
Oh,
in
so
there.
you're not. It's not far. You just walk
No.
across the driveway.
Oh, yeah, just
Okay.
we walk there.
Okay, that's a little better then.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was thinking, man, poor Isaiah's car's not even in the same county.
It's a 3-hour drive to work on Isaiah's car. Chris Batchelor says JT doesn't have room to give advice on dating. He's going to a concert instead of racing this weekend.
Hey, you give a little sometime, and it is Garth.
That's true.
You know.
He is the icon of country music.
Yeah, I've seen George Strait, so I gotta get the other one.
I've never seen George Strait. I've seen Garth a bunch of times. I've never seen George Strait.
You're missing out.
I like George. I like his music though. But you know the bad thing about concert, not to get derailed here, but bad thing about concerts is like everything else. You know, we was going to get Morgan Wallen tickets, and 4 tickets was like $1,200. I mean, all I got to do is just go over to the radio, turn the radio on Bluetooth, and I can listen to any song I want to if it is.
And that's
So-
another perk about Jim too, is he hasn't raised his general
No.
admission. You know, for the big races, we get a little crazy with it sometimes.
Right,
but
right.
For a regular show, $15, go watch
$15.
it. You know,
That's the thing with like Lincoln Park and Bloomington. They're 20 to get in.
really.
Grandstands regular night and 35 pits.
Somebody was telling me something about like you had to pay for your 4-wheeler and stuff.
Yeah,
too.
you gotta have insurance on your 4-wheeler, golf cart, whatever you gotta do. You gotta have insurance on it. You gotta have proof of it. You gotta fill out a thing and pay a fee. I think it's like $15 or $20. Then you got a $20 track registration fee, and then you got one more. Transponders. They don't run like the yellow transponders at Brownstown. They don't run those. They run like the My Race Pass ones. So if you don't buy one, you got to pay $20 a night to rent one, which we bought one there. So we're not paying that. But
Holy cow!
yeah.
That's each night?
Yeah.
That's a sprint car track. You have to have a 4-wheeler. For most of them guys,
Yeah. I mean,
Good
wow.
they were throwing a big fit
And Bloomington's
about
like that too.
it. Yeah, because Spiker owns or promotes both of them.
Man.
Yeah, that hits you hard. That's $100. probably, you know?
Well, yeah.
Wow.
That's not counting everybody else's pit passes. That's just one person and the four-wheeler and the insurance and the...
So it's $35 for a pit pass then?
Yep.
I guess that's what Thunder Valley was charging there at the end too.
Jerry
Which
Curry wants...
we don't have problem with the tracks making money, because if they weren't making money, we wouldn't have nowhere to
Yeah.
race. But, you know...
We're not making money either.
Yeah.
Right. Jerry Curry, from your guys' standpoint, Jerry Curry wants to know, what do you guys do do you guys change oil every week? Do you as far as maintenance goes, what do you guys do every week? Do you change oil every week?
We go every 4 races, change engine oil, transmission oil, and then usually gear oil pretty good for a long time unless we break one or something.
Gotcha.
I do every 3.
Every
I'm about
3?
the same, yeah. But, alcohol. Do you run alcohol in yours?
Yeah.
I mean, I go through a drum alcohol 2.5 races.
We've, Isaiah's car was on gas last year, but we moved it to alcohol so it'd run cooler, because his always ran hot on gas. So both cars are on alcohol, and we didn't have any to start the year, so we bought 6 barrels. We're on the 6th one now.
Already.
And I've raced 7 times. He's raced
You already got
5.
7 in?
Yeah.
Wow. That's crazy. I've got 3 in, and like, I feel like I'm broke already. 7
Yeah,
in,
you
that's
got
a
started
lot.
yet.
I didn't win $1,500 though.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, that helps.
You're not cashing the big
There's
checks.
part of the
bud.
fuel bill,
Yeah.
with the...
You're not cashing the big checks.
Me and Dad figured it up the other night, and it was like $460 to unload it at Brownstown and be competitive. Mm-hmm. There's only one spot that pays that much
To win.
to win, and that's if you don't break nothing. I'm just talking between your oil changes, your fuel, your pit passes, your fuel to get there, your tires. $460, $600 to win,
You gotta
and
love
it's like
to do it.
$350 for second or something.
You gotta love to do it.
Oh, I'm not complaining, because
No, I'm
I
saying,
would
like,
rather
that's
do
what you
nothing
gotta do.
else.
You
Yeah,
gotta
you
love
have
to
to
do it.
love it. It's not nobody's doing it to get rich,
Right.
No.
And I'm sure the crate guys are spending more money than that to run for $1,000, and
Right.
I know the mod guys are spending more than us, and they're running for the same money we are.
Right.
So I'm not going to sit here and complain. I'm just saying
No.
it's something you really have to enjoy doing,
Yeah.
and it takes all your time. Like we're scheduling our first vacation that I've taken in 6 years, because racing just takes it all.
Yeah.
And we're finally
It does
going
take
on
a lot.
vacation. We're going to go to East Bay next year. Meg told me to tell you.
I'm going.
Are you going?
Yeah, because remember we used to like to go.
We're
with
renting
you.
a house.
Yeah.
You just got to let me know if you can chance one in on it. We're going to rent like 3 houses.
Chancellor.
Yeah.
I'm going myself.
I started a family war. I shouldn't even said nothing.
No, she's okay with it. Well, I guess she would go, but she just want to sit on the beach all
That's
week.
what my mom's going to do. It's in Tampa.
Yeah, that's fine. Let's just plan on that then. Because then she can spend half her money and help me get to the racetrack. And
There you
stuff,
go.
So
There you go. Whatever works.
that's where the women come into play. The money side of
Money.
it.
Marry for money, Zach. Don't marry
Marry for
looks.
money. Love don't have nothing to do with
Find
it.
you a rich girl. Don't matter what she looks like.
As soon as you find her, say, I need to see your checking account. That's the first thing you ask her.
She's got one eye, one arm, 2 toes, whatever.
If it's got a big checking account, then marry
That's
it.
good.
Well, you're a deer hunter too, so if she's got 500 acres, then
Yeah, even better.
yep. What else you got, JT?
You ain't got no more questions on your thing?
No, I've already burned all mine up.
on your chat. You ain't been looking at it.
No, there's just people talking about you. Oh, well, Jerry's asked a couple questions.
You didn't ask him?
Yeah, I did.
Oh, did
about
you?
the oil changes, and then he asked earlier or he said something about Salem Speedway running. So I added that in the Sports Drome. I know some of the Crown Vic guys are going down the Sports Drome. And then everybody giving you a hard time about being in a relationship and not racing. That's like 60 comments on there about
I
that.
can't complain about Meg. She helps me out a bunch.
She does to help you a lot.
Let's talk about TSR for a minute. Can we do that?
Yeah, absolutely. Go right ahead.
So did you get your car from Barn Built?
No.
You
Todd.
got a Todd
Todd
car.
car.
Has it been to Barn Built at all?
No, not the chassis has. We've had rear ends up there to get straightened and stuff, and that's about it.
And you're really happy with it, right?
Yeah.
And that's what Isaiah's car is too, right? Is that
Yeah.
Aubrey's old
Yeah,
car?
it's Aubrey's car.
And that car has been really fast ever since he's got it.
Yeah.
So I like to just talk about them because they help me out a lot. But
Oh, yeah.
Travis and Jeff, both super. If anybody's looking to get in the super stock game, I'm a big pusher on TSR just because of the help. And I mean, my car got flipped. I couldn't afford to get a new one down, and they helped me out. And we tried to straighten the other one, and we got the new one. And I mean, I just can't say enough good things about what they do for our sport. to help our drivers. And, Jeff's constantly giving, if I got questions, I can call Jeff anytime or Travis anytime and they'll help me out. So I just like to thank them guys for all they do for us, And there's a lot of good chassis out there. We got TSR, WGP, Fly By You, Greg Amick builds his own car, Black Widow. Is that what it's called? Yeah. Black Widow. And then Tommy's in a Rainmaker. You got the Gum cars are still out there winning races. I mean, that's cool about our class too. Is
Right.
all the different manufacturers that are still competitive. And I think TSR is the only one that's won 2 this year. I mean, because Amick won in his, and Matt Boatnick's is a Fly By You. He didn't win one. Who was the other one that won? Clegg. He's got WGP. So I mean, every chassis is competitive,
Right.
And I think that's really cool about it. And that's in a lot of racing, late models, modifieds, super stocks. I mean, just last night, Rocket and Longhorn
Dominate.
I mean, they were swapping leads back.
Yeah. We got a good question here, Zach. Josh Holt asked, when are the T-shirts coming out?
For me?
Yeah.
Well, we have some now that we got them a couple years ago. We still got leftovers, but I don't no plans right now for a new
No
shirt
plans?
for me. But Isaiah's shirts will be a couple weeks, I'd say.
Okay.
A few weeks.
No Scott
Couple
Patman
weeks.
Memorial winner shirts. Like, that's
Yeah.
a specialty shirt.
We need to get a big batch of those made up.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
That's an awesome thing, man.
Yeah,
Go
I was
make,
telling
go
my
make even
brother
more money.
yesterday. I was kind of rubbing it in his face earlier. I said, your brother's enriched in Brownstown Speedway history. I'm on that. I'll be on that history.
Your name
You
goes
will
on
be.
the website.
Yeah.
Yeah.
On there.
Oh, I go look at mine all the time just to make sure it's still
Yeah.
there. I
You
get
think
it.
they're going to erase it off there or what?
I don't. There could be a glitch or something. I don't know.
There could be.
I get on there and look on it probably every other week just to, hey, there's my name, right there beside Tim Shumpy and Jamie Wilson,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
Tyler Kane. I mean, the list of names on there is great enough.
Yeah.
Put your
Like
name
the
on
people
it.
who won the Scott Patman race: Matt 3 times, Jamie Wilson, Jason Heyman, and Josh Devine.
Yeah.
All
You're only the
top notch.
5th winner.
Yeah.
Only the 5th winner.
I'm so jealous. Golly, I'm jealous.
That's a group of studs.
And I
too.
think he's got a real good shot at putting his name right underneath mine on
Yeah.
the championship this
Yeah.
year. I mean, he is fast every week, consistent, even solid second places, even when he's not winning.
Right.
So I mean,
Well, and the thing about championships is consistency's key. I mean, if you can run good every week, whether it's be second, third, first, whatever, that's what wins championships.
you have to be consistent.
Yep.
Consistent and no bad luck. Like you can't, like a flat tire, like that could ruin it there.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
It just takes one. And then the guys he's got beats no slouch either, because I'm sure Greg Amick's going to run for it.
Yeah.
He's been competitive every week. He's went through a rough spell, but Tucker's going to get his stuff lined down. He's going to be fast.
Yeah.
He's gonna
And,
get it figured out.
I mean, there's a list of guys that you got to try to keep up with, and make sure that you're still able to finish. I mean, it's
I think
tough.
Grant Simpson will be in. I think he'll be up there too this year.
Yeah, he's missed a couple, so I
Yeah.
don't know what he'll do points.
Yeah.
But Grant's fast.
What's interesting about our class this year is like you, Matt, like Brandon Carr, Clegg, like you guys aren't running every week, but like any week, like 2 or 3 of you might show up, but then like the next week, a different 2 or 3 of you. So
Yep.
it's going to be different cars every week up
and
front.
that hurts you because you have to be more play it safe, where we can just throw it.
Yeah.
We're not afraid to throw that slider because we got to lose. Mm-hmm. That's tough. I was that guy last year. Tucker came around me a couple times. Like, man, I wish I could throw something cool back, but
Right.
I better just let him go.
I know that last weekend was a big win. Does it take any pressure off though, as far as like getting your first win at Brownstown? I mean, obviously you want to win every night you go up there, but as far as the pressure of getting your first win at Brownstown, does it kind of ease that up a little bit?
I think so, because last year, when we would go to Brownstown, I just would have knots in my stomach like every week. I
Right.
don't know why, just because pressure to win and do good, and I feel like if I wasn't getting top 5s, then it was a disappointment. But then we would run like North Vernon when Brownstown wasn't running, and like I didn't care, and then I would run better because of it. And then like to start this year, for some reason I wasn't really thinking about it, and it was just happening for good finishes. And now we've won. I don't think it'll be on my mind as much.
So what's the worst finish you've had up there this year?
Second.
That's crazy.
I've ran 7 times. We got 1 win, 4 seconds, a 3rd, and an 8th.
He's going to win the national title this year too.
I hope so. He was on Flag to Flag Media. Let's just the UMP
You
national
remember us.
champion.
Yeah, when you're in Illinois on the bank, we'll be like, I got to thank Flag to Flag Media
That's
for
right.
getting my name out
Yeah,
there.
because JT doesn't do it in victory lane when he wins.
Yeah.
I'm not going to live
There's
it
a
down.
lot going through my head.
This is like the greatest dirt show of all time, and you don't even think it. You're co-host on it. You
When
are the
you get
co-host
Brownstown-
of Flag to Flag Media.
When you get to Brownstown Victory Lane, is there like not
Yeah,
your heart's beating out
but
of your
you- but
chest?
you
I
can't-
forgot a couple sponsors Saturday night.
You can't think of everybody.
But you can't. You've won before, so you can't use that. Zach, if he would have forgot all of his sponsors Saturday night, it would have been legit because that was his first Brownstown win, and it was the Scott Patman Memorial. You've got I don't know how many feature wins you got at Brownstown so far.
Not
4
very
or
many.
5,
6.
6. No excuse. No excuse, bud.
I know. I got to get your sticker matched too.
Yeah, he don't even have my sticker on his car yet.
I'm not putting a sticker on there that isn't collar matched.
Well,
You get that, right?
I'd put it on mine.
Yeah, that's what I like to hear right there. That's what I like to hear.
I thought I liked
It's
that.
kind of color matched. It's got some yellow in it.
Yeah.
That's first off, green's bad luck. You don't put green on a race car, and then you got red. Well, I can't say that. That made me look like a jerk, didn't it?
The red car won the Scott Patman
His
Memorial
dad
last
passed
weekend.
him down red. My dad passed me down blue. So we just kind of got the cards.
You just dealt
Yeah,
that way.
that's
huh?
what our hand landed on.
It just warms my heart though to know that Zach Sasser would put my sticker on his car just the way it is. You ever thought about being a co-host?
Yeah.
Wait, you won't once you see the contract.
Whatever. Whatever. See, Ethan Braid said it looks good on his car.
Yeah, but his ain't all. His don't. He didn't collar match like me.
I said all you got to do is call Eric Bryant, and then I'll get you a decal made.
I got a new sponsor this week, so I got to get them made anyway.
If I get it made, will you put it on there?
I will get it
If I
made.
physically go get
you
it
don't
done.
have to. I'm going to. I got to get my new sponsor on there.
Okay.
He felt sorry for me because I blew a tire.
Well, I will tell you this. I'm going to take a while off with the GoPro because I'm 0 for 3. I thought I had, but you finished, but
I thought it was.
Still.
Did you watch it?
Yeah, I watched it.
It's
Wasn't
awesome
it cool
footage.
to see those 3 guys how close we were?
Yeah.
I mean, it was just a good race and clean.
I'm going to
Clean
run this
racing.
down. I'm going to run this down, though. I put on Braden Walton's car at Florence. The lap car spins out in front of him, and he T-bones him. I put on Chase Briscoe's car at Brownstown for the flow race. Car spins out in front of him, and he T-bones him. I put on your car last week, and you did finish the race, but it was with a blown right rear tire going for the white flag, and then your car overheats, and it sits in turn 4 forever. That's 0 for 3, bud. Like, I can't do that to you guys anymore.
Do it to somebody we don't like.
Is that what I should do?
Yeah, somebody that's
But
whipping
being
us
a
every
media
week.
team,
team, though, I can't do that.
You're not going to tell them. Hey, you're running really good. Can I put my GoPro in there?
So
They
you
ain't
don't want me
gonna-
to say, JT, you want me to put my GoPro in your car because I'm 0 for 3? That's you want me to leave that part of it out?
I liked watching it. So if you wanted to put it in my car again, I'd do it
Okay.
again. I just think I'd put it in super stock every weekend because there's such good racing.
It is good racing.
You know,
My goal is I would love to get more than one if I could do it all night. You know what I mean? Like if you could get more than one car doing it and then just showcase that throughout the night.
I actually got my car handling like it does from watching different guys' GoPros in the super stock division because they post them on Facebook, on YouTube, and I
That way
get-
you can see.
I see what they're doing and how their cars are handling. Then I watch the Dirt 2 media and see how their cars are handling. That's the only reason my car's fast.
Homework.
Homework.
You
You get on there and watch. You can see what the cars are doing.
Yeah.
You know, I got to do some studying now, obviously, because we're knocked way off the pedestal.
Jackson the Dare JT wants to know if you've been fighting overheating issues for a while. You haven't been, have you?
No, this is see. I broke that crank in my other motor, and it busted the block. So I bought this motor off of Troy, and we won in it the first night with it. And then I think it's a radiator cap. It has to be a radiator cap or something stupid to be blowing water even when it's not that hot.
Right.
Because it's not like it's over full, or it wouldn't be over full the whole heat race. I mean, it's got to blow
Because
it
it was
out.
early. Like we were talking, like I said earlier, it was hot laps.
But I pulled the cap off, and the rubber. Last time I had a cap go bad, the rubber was ripped, but the rubber was fine. I don't know. It's scary though. I hope that motor's not hurt.
Bo Liver said that you're probably going to take off his sticker and put the new sponsor on the car.
No, not all Bo Livers does for me.
He's leaving it on, Bo. It's Facebook official. Bo Livers, you're staying on the car. I do want to thank my sponsors, though, before we get off here tonight. I've got B&D Excavating, Greens Auto Sales, Solutions Directional Drilling, P3 Graphics, Eric Bryant. He's done a ton of stuff for us. Hillbillies Barbecue, Tenderloin, Tony Ogle, and I know I'm forgetting one.
Because you ain't got the TV going.
I don't have the TV going. Anyway, I want to thank them guys. I did put a post up on Facebook a while ago thanking them, so I do appreciate all they do for us. And Zach, I hope you had fun tonight. I know it's crazy because all winter JT complained because it was cold in here and he had to have his own heater. Now it's went to 90 degrees during the week. I don't have air conditioning in here, so we've suffered through tonight. I can't turn the fans on because then all the microphones will pick it up and we'll have audio issues like we had last week, and it was just sounded horrible. So, but thanks for toughing it out. Thanks to your dad for coming, checking it out. JT, you got anything
thanks
else?
for racing with us.
Yeah.
I mean, because it's like I said, I enjoy racing with all you guys, even when we're Thunder Valley, Brownstown, Bloomington, wherever we go. I always had fun racing with you guys.
Yeah.
You guys are class acts.
So we wish you the
feel the
best of
same.
luck on the national points deal too.
Yes,
Thank
I'm
you.
pulling for you hard. I'm really pulling
I'll
for you
need
hard.
it.
When you win the national points, we don't like to say if, we like to say when.
When it happens.
Then we'll get you back on the show and we'll talk about national points
Okay.
championship.
Pictures from Illinois.
I'll tell you what we'll do. We'll do a live show at the UMP banquet.
Okay, don't
Huh?
listen to that. That was big. That was a big promise.
Ethan Braid said he's getting ready to sponsor me an AC unit.
Ethan Bray just bought his own AC unit. He ain't got no money.
Oh, okay. Well, he's going to give me his old one?
It didn't work. That's why.
Oh, hey, that might be why he's going to give it to me then. All right. Well, thanks for watching. If you get a chance to watch this later in the week, we appreciate it. Thanks for everybody tuning in. We had another 35 viewers all night. So
Like and share.
share
Get
it
us
out.
out there.
Get it out there. And we wish you the best of luck.
thank
and
you for
tell your
having
brother we wish him the best of luck too. Not only in his relationship, but also on the
the
racetrack.
track.
So, yeah. All right, everybody. Thanks for watching. See you next week.